What's up, world, YouTube, family? How y'all doing out there? Hope everyone's feeling great. I hope the day is beautiful for you and I hope you make the most of it. Right now, it's morning and it's really nice. I'm in a really good mood. And I'm gonna talk about something that's been really relevant for me as of lately. And I guess I want to know if it's relevant for you as well. And the things that I'm going to talk about in this video revolve around dreaming. 'Cause I feel dreams are communication. They're psychic communication. And I'm going to also talk about astrology, and I'm going to kind of tie these two things together. And I'm going to try to keep it grounded. I'm going to keep it grounded by sharing like real life situations that I've observed and I've seen throughout this month. It's October 2018. Today's the 15th for me. Okay, so before I go into this and like start, tying this together, I guess I need to orient you about like astrology so that what I say will make sense more for you. Because I'm assuming that a lot of people aren't like deep off into astrology, so I guess I have to explain it to make it make sense. Okay, so right now, the astrological situation right now is that we have 3 planets in the sign of Scorpio. 3 planets. So the energy is quite intense right now because Scorpio is an intense sign. And one of the planets that's in Scorpio right now is Jupiter. And Jupiter is very profound, deep energy, abundant. It's very abundant. And Jupiter is about to leave out of Scorpio next month on the 8th, November 8th. But we have 3 planets there. So, if the tensions, if you can feel like the tensions in the air, that may be partially why, because of this factor. Now, what is Scorpio? The sign of Scorpio. What does it represent? The Scorpio constellation, the sign, it represents like the hidden, the secret, the dark side of us, the things we keep repressed, the things we keep held inside, deep down inside, because maybe we fear them, or maybe we don't want them seen, or maybe we just don't want to address them. It's also about deep research. It's about the esoteric world, like the things that we don't really understand, or it's too difficult to understand, so you rather just leave it alone. It's also about dying and being resurrected or transforming. Like when I say die, I don't mean just literally dying, but it could also mean like the old you, like a part of you died. You became a new person, like you transformed. You went from a caterpillar to a butterfly, or a butterfly back to a caterpillar, depending on how you want to look at it. But Scorpio is really intense. It's really intense energy. And like right now, I just mentioned Jupiter's in Scorpio, so this the intensity, it's really intense because Jupiter is about abundance, so it's gonna really give us lessons about, I guess, the dark side, or the hidden side of us, and all these things that represent Scorpio, the sign of Scorpio. So that's Scorpio in a nutshell, like my interpretation of the sign of Scorpio, or the constellation Scorpio. Now, the planet Venus. Why am I talking about the planet Venus? Why am I focusing on that in this video? Well, something significant has happened, which hasn't happened in 8 years. This happens every 8 years. The sign of Venus, the planet Venus is moving through Scorpio, but it's moving backwards. And what do I mean by backwards? It's moving retrograde. Like, direct means the planet's moving toward us, but retrograde or backwards means it's moving away from us, because it constantly makes revolutions. It moves forward and backward, and it goes backward or it goes retrograde every 8 years. So this is a unique time, and I decided to make a video about this because there's probably some unique things happening in your life because of that. Now, what does the planet Venus represent, or what type of power does it bring when it moves through a sign or through a constellation? The planet Venus, she's the goddess of love, the goddess of beauty, money, pleasure, harmony, all the things that make us feel good. And right now she's moving through the sign of Scorpio, and I just mentioned to you like how dark of an energy that Scorpio can be, because it's the deep stuff within us, the deep stuff, the stuff that we keep hidden. And like the chemistry between those two, it could get really, it could be something that it could get really intense. Like, Venus is about love and harmony and pleasure and things like this. Scorpio is about, like the deep hidden repressed stuff. So that energy can turn Venus from a loving goddess to like a really passionate, jealous, compulsive, clingy. It can have those types of effects on her. So that may be what's happening right now. It could also increase intimacy, because it's about the deep stuff within us. It's related to sex also. So it could combine love with sex and just make it a really deep, profound thing. But as we know, when we start talking about sex, sex can easily turn into something not pleasurable, but something that we don't want it to turn into, because it's so pleasurable that we really want to just keep it for ourselves, and keep it between ourselves and our lover. So jealousy could easily result from that, and those types of feelings. Now, okay, so that's the sign of Scorpio. Like, that's Scorpio in a nutshell, and Venus. I just kind of described those two things. I described the sign, I described the planet. Now, what am I going to talk about now? Throughout the month of October, I've been really paying attention to my feelings, and the feelings of other people, and just like everything around me, and just like all the things that I just mentioned before about the astrological situation and such. And I've noticed like some patterns. I've also had feelings that I've never really felt before, or haven't had in a really long time. And I'm going to kind of describe them and talk about them, and kind of explain why I think they're related to Venus's transit through Scorpio. Okay, so I'll start by talking about on October 6th, the planet Venus went retrograde, which means, again, it started moving back away from the Earth versus moving toward the Earth. So it started moving retrograde on October 6th. And like, what does that mean? Like, we know I just explained to you that Venus is about beauty, love, pleasure, money, all the things that make us feel good, things like this. Well, when it's moving toward, those types of things get intensified. But when it starts moving backwards away from Earth in retrograde, those things, they kind of regress, or they turn into memories. They turn into to memories. Like, we like the feeling that you got when Venus was moving direct toward us, or toward us, toward the Earth. Those feelings are still intense, but maybe in the opposite direction. So you may probably start having really intense feelings about your past and situations related to Scorpio type of energy and Venus type of energy combined, which is deep. If you want to talk about, it could be deep intimacy and love combined, and all the things that come with that, and also the other factors that are related to the sign of Scorpio and the planet Venus. Now, on October 6th, within my life, I'll try to make it practical here and related to reality. In my life, on October 6th, 3 days prior to October 6th, I decided that I would not sign another contract with the company that I'm working with. I didn't feel it was in my best interest to do so. So I told them on October 3rd that I wouldn't be signing a new contract. I would be signing elsewhere. And they asked me to stay for 3 more days. And 3 more days, it ended up being October 6th, when Venus went retrograde, or started going backwards away from Earth. And also, like, on the 6th and the 7th, I had really intense, well, they, not intense, they're just long dreams that you remember, because the dream kept happening all through my sleep. It went on the whole night. It didn't just pop in and pop out. But I had the same dream for 2 nights in a row, on the 6th and the 7th. And it was about a past person that was special to me once upon a time. And it wasn't like anything excessive, bad, or anything like that, but I was just dreaming about, that person. And then the very next day, I had another dream. The dream I had the very next day, I went all the way back to when I was like 6 or 7 years old. And in this dream, it consisted of me and 2 people that are very close to me. One of them is deceased. But in that dream, I was an adult in the dream, but they were the adult version of them when I was 6 or 7 years old. So we were all talking, and I brought up something that was really tough for me at that time, that I didn't really like that much, that I felt needed to be addressed. And then when I addressed it, they didn't like it. They didn't like what I had to say. They kind of got displeased with me after I said my words. And that was that dream. And like, I've never had such a dream ever in my life. I don't even think about stuff like this. It's like 6 or 7 years old. It's like really repressed memories. And the next day, or like 2 days later, I had like a dream about like my teenage years, a childhood friend, and it was a really odd dream. And like the dream, it didn't make sense. And also, I don't feel comfortable sharing it. It was like one of those. It was a bizarre dream. And a couple days, I had like another dream in between now and then, but I don't remember them. So I'll talk about the dream that I had last night. Last night I had a dream about, it was me and an adversary from when I was like 12 years old, like a person that I constantly fought with. Like, we were just enemies, and I don't even know why. It didn't make sense then. It still doesn't make sense now. But we were like enemies, and like in the dream we were working together. We were collaborating together, and it was friendly. But in the back of my mind, I was thinking, this is my enemy, And that's the dream that I had, last night. I'm like really repressed memories are like coming out of me during, and I'm assuming it's because of this retrograde. And it could be a coincidence. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But that's the situation that has been happening for me. And also, since the retrograde, I've noticed that I've been having like really like obsessive thinking about like certain people, like really obsessive thinking. And when I say obsessive, I mean like all day, all through the day. I can't shake the thoughts from my mind. It's like constant thinking, and like constant thinking about it, and just analyzing and just replaying things over and over in my head. And like I don't want to do that because it's not fun. But that's what's been going on, like day in, day out. It's like really like obsessive thinking, and like I'm like whoa, like this couldn't be like a coincidence, because like I haven't done this all year. This type of thing hasn't happened, like actually it's never happened. Well, specifically about this person, and that's what's been happening over the past week. And I'm assuming that these dreams and like these obsessive thoughts are going to continue throughout the rest of Venus's retrograde through Scorpio, which it ends in like the middle of November. I think it's the 16th. And I'm going to really pay attention to my dreams and like kind of pay attention to my obsessive thinking and try to kind of sort it out and deal with it. I guess that's why I'm having this obsessive thinking, because psychically I need to address these things, and I need to maybe fix them in order to become a better version of myself, I'm guessing. And something that I've learned from between the time when I made the Jupiter video about, I made a video about Jupiter having like major effects on like my life when it transited from one house to another. So like at like key dates, like every like 12 and 13 months, Jupiter would make a transit, and on those like key dates, like key things, like really big key important things would happen in my life. Like I would meet like a key person. I would go to like, I would move, my whole situation would change, like within my life, like a job or something like this. And like it followed the Jupiter transits, which the next Jupiter transit is November 8th, next month on the 8th. So I'm kind of looking forward to see what's gonna change, or what is changing. Like things are changing now, but I'm real interested to see how it's gonna play out in front of me. Like I don't think that I totally don't have any control, but I can't control what's playing out around me. I can control myself to a degree, but I have to just watch it and like see, like watch for the patterns. And what I've learned from that is that the reason why the Jupiter transits have had such an impact on me in my life, maybe it's because Jupiter is the co-ruler of Pisces. I'm a Pisces. And it's also the co-ruler of Sagittarius. So I'm guessing that if you're a Sagittarius person or a Pisces person, you've had similar situations play out for you in your past during these Jupiter transits. And I mentioned this video is about Venus, and Venus is the ruler of Taurus, the sign Taurus. So if you're a Taurus person, or if you're a Libra person, it rules Libra also. I'm assuming that this Venus transit, or this Venus going retrograde, is having a major effect on like what you're thinking about. Because if it's affecting me, and I'm not even governed, like Pisces is not even governed by Venus, I'm assuming that it's having a major effect on you if you're a Libra or a Taurus, because it's the governing planet of those signs. And I'm kind of making this video to kind of learn and get some clarity about like how this is playing out for other people, and like basically how this works in real time. I'm trying to observe and just like learn about these things, so that I could be be in sync with it, and I can uh, play chess with life, more so to speak, than play checkers with it. And I guess make money moves. I want to, I guess, try to master life, I guess, by making good decisions and knowing which paths to take. And with this, another significant thing about this Venus retrograde is that it happens every 8 years. So this is a rare occurrence. And I guess it's a rare occurrence, so I guess I'm having like rare feelings and rare situations play out in my life, because of this. If you believe in like this type of theory and the way this happens and flows and plays out. But I'll end the video here. It's really good to sit before you and like share my thoughts, and I hope that you reciprocate as well, and share with me your experiences. I really want to learn about this stuff and like how it works. And thank you so much for tuning in. I love you. You love yourself. And be Venus. Be love. Spread love. Bye.